Hello everyone, and welcome to more Ian no Aselia with me, Phantoms Y. So last time, Yuto was being made as a soldier to fight. For Rakios, it seemed like tensions were mounting, and here we are this time, clang, clang, clang. So, let's see what's going on, shall we? What? I hear the sound of a loud bell. It's coming from the castle. I look out the window. Something is happening, but I can't really tell what it is from here. However, the bell has never rung at this hour before. An alarm? It sounds like a fire alarm. For it to be ringing now, something big must be happening. It might be some sort of summons. Thinking that, I hurriedly get out of bed and change into my uniform. As soon as I finish buttoning my uniform jacket, I hear a knock at the door. Yes?
So you do. It's connected Hawaii. Hi, Nisras Vanessam. Nam Orse Haka. Sanam.
She speaks faster than usual. It's clear that this is an abnormal situation. After putting on the coat of a Rakios soldier, I pick up Desire from the chair that is leaning on. I'm coming! I know what this summons is about. It's finally here. The day of my first battle. That day is today. And ellipses as always. Audience chamber. The princess stands in front of the throne. Lestina died Rakios. She looks to be the same age as me, but she has a certain grace about her. And she's looking after Kauri. That's what Orpha said. Frankly, I can't tell whether she's my enemy or my ally. That's convenient. Barnlight is a country neighboring Rakios. I've heard from Asperia's lessons that it seems to be hostile towards the alliance, Rakios is a part of. You're so kind. The princess's eyes are cold, and it's clear that she doesn't think of us as subordinates. She looks down on us as mere tools, as weapons. She's supposed to be protecting Kauri, so why? It's not like I don't believe Orpha, but I can't help but doubt. Asperia is sympathetic to the princess too, but she suddenly calls to me. Yes. She speaks to me as coldly as ice. I see. Kauri is her precious hostage, after all. This is an elaborate scheme to make me fight. I desperately try to control my rising anger. I'm only doing this to save Kauri. I don't need to think about anything else. I need to kill my heart and become like a doll. Yes. Even bowing my head irritates me. Dark thoughts arise in my mind and well up in my entire body. This voice, or rather a will, it's very weak, but I've heard it so many times. The voice resonates with the hatred in my own heart, but it soon disappears. This voice again?
Aselia, Orfari, na Shumhan Saint Luz, le Musulena Hihan.
Yes.
はほーれなラキオス
As soon as she finishes speaking, the princess returns to her room. At the line, "May Rakios be victorious," I laugh bitterly to myself. What of Rakios? What of victory? This is only a farce. I don't care about your people or this country. I'm only fighting for Kaori. That's all. And so, we enter the combat phase of Aselia the Eternal.
初めての戦いとなります
I have not played this game in a really long time, like I've said before, so just a note here, though I've played this game before, I remember very little about the combat. So I am going to listen to Asperia's explanations, hopefully that'll, educate both you and me about the combat system, and, we'll do fun.
今回の作戦目的はラースを制圧した所属国家不明のスピリットを倒すことです
Now I remember not to press enter during the combat explanations, because for some reason that acts like control, and then it just kind of quickly skips ahead. I've got to click for this.
ラースでは現在小型のエーテル変換施設の実験を行っていますラースはラキオスとサルドバルトの国境に位置する小さな村ですラキオスとサルドバルトは同盟を結んでいるため警戒は手薄でしたオルファが警備任務を終えたのと同時に奇襲を仕掛けてきたようですおそらくは南東部の国家と予想されますラキオスの南に広がるリュケイレムの森を迂回しつつ南西に移動しラースへと向かいますユート様は初陣です私たちが戦います下がっていてくださいませユート様アセリアオルファ行きましょう
Yes, let's do this. Destroy the unidentified enemy spirits lurking in Laos. Alright. Victory conditions. Capture Laos. We are defeated if we fail to defend Rakios or if Yuto dies. We are heading to this village here. We start out over here in Rakios. Mission objectives. To clear this mission, you need to fulfill the victory condition of capturing Laos. When a friendly unit reaches Laos and annihilates the defending squad, the mission will be cleared. Running into an enemy unit on the way will start a battle. Win battles and advance towards your objective. Role explanation. So this is kind of the crux of battles in Ian no Aselia.
舞台にはアタッカー、ディフェンダー、サポーターという3種類の役割が存在します。
So there are 3 slots in battle. Your primary frontliner, who is the attacker, the defender, who will take damage from the primary attacker of the opposite squad, and also some spells from supports down here can target defenders or attackers. It all depends on the spell, but generally the defender is the one who will eat the damage in the combat situation. Supporters have a variety of uses. They can be used as to heal you. They can be used as magical attackers from the back row. They can be used to cast support spells. Really, just all kinds of uses for supporters. So, it gets deeper than that very bare bones explanation I just gave, and she's probably going to repeat a lot of what I said. But I think that's a pretty easily digestible way to explain the roles in combat here. So.
そしてこの役割のことをロールと呼びます。アタッカーは直接攻撃を担当。
Yeah, they attack with a physical weapon.
ディフェンダーは敵アタッカーの攻撃に対しての防御とダメージ軽減を担当。サポーターは様々な支援を担当します。一つの部隊内には必ず一つずつしかロールを持つことはできません。例えば同部隊でサポーターを2人にすることができないということになります。
But you can have a squad with less than 3 people.
一つの部隊を3人未満で構成することもできますが、大きく不利になることは間違いありません。
Do not recommend it, at least until late in the game. But I won't go into that because there is exceptions to that.
特にディフェンダーがいない場合は、ダメージが直接アタッカーとサポーターに降りかかります。そうなるとクリティカル扱いになり、 部隊は致命的なダメージを受けることになるでしょう。
Basically, never send out a unit without a full squad of 3 unless they're acting as very easy cleanup. But pretty much, I doubt there will be many situations at all where I take a squad with less than 3 people.
全滅を避けるためにもディフェンダーはできるだけ配置するようにしてください。後で説明するスキルとロールの関係はとても大事なことになります。状況に応じて柔軟に変化させてください。
So true. Explanation of skills.
スキルについての解説をいたします。
I think every unit can have 3 skills in each role, so there can be 3 attacks on a character, 3 defenses, and 3 support moves that they have available.
私たちは
Yep.
戦闘スキル
I
を
remember that much.
使います。
So these are the attacks skills right here in red, the 3 top ones. The green ones are defending specialties, and the ones on the bottom are support roles.
スキルは大きく分けて
Just like
ア
that.
タックスキル、ディフェンススキル、サポートスキルと区別されます。アタックスキルはアタッカー時に使う直接攻撃スキル、ディフェンススキルはディフェンダー時に使う防御スキル、サポートスキルはサポーター時に使う支援スキルです。スキルには最大回数と残回数があり、その残回数分だけスキルを使用することができます。
Which that becomes one of the most difficult things to maintain on your most useful units. Is you'll definitely be taking these units out a lot because they're really good. But the problem is that, of course, they have a limited number of uses for their best skills. So you'll need to go back to town. I think that's how it works. You need to go back to a town, place with a fort, I think. But then they'll recharge all their skills there, and then you can send them out to fight again.
また行動回数というものもあり、1回の戦闘で何回そのスキルを発動することができるかを示しています。
I think that's how it
残回
works.
数が0になるとそのスキルは発動しません。別のスキルをセットしてください。スキルの残回数は味方拠点で待機することによって最大回数まで回復します。各スキルにはマインドの増減設定があり、スキルを1回使用するごとにその設定分の値が増減します。
This isn't something you have to worry about with too many skills, as long as you manage your mind alright, but yeah, it's worth knowing.
また各スキルに設定されているマインドバランスの値を外れたスキルは本来の力を発揮できなくなります。
Basically, you think of mind as the character's like mental stability. So for example, Yuto's mental stability can be altered some, from events in the game, but it's also lowered when you kill enemies, I believe. I think maybe by 3 or something. For every enemy that you killed, your mind goes down. But you gain a bonus to mind for them being the MVP in a battle, I think, or for them being a part of the best squad, something like that. It's kind of blurry, but yeah, it's something like that.
うまく調節して戦いを切り抜けてください。ユウト様、マナとエーテルの関係について説明いたします。
Very important.
この大地においてとても重要な概念となりますので、きちんとご理解くださいませ。まずマナです。マナとはこの大地に宿るエネルギーです。マナはそのままでは私たちが使用するエネルギーではありません。マナをエーテルというエネルギーに変換することで初めて私たちの生活を潤すものとなります。マナをエーテルに変換する施設をエーテル変換施設と言います。エーテル変換施設のエネルギーロスはほぼありません。マナとエーテルは1対1と考えてください。エーテルはエーテル技術を利用した建物の建築、ユウト様やスピリットの育成に使われます。
So essentially, think of ether as the currency in the game that you use during combat. Ether is going to be used to construct buildings, like she's saying, and it's also going to be used to level up your spirits, which are your combatants. So ether is extremely important. And you have to refine mana with ether refining facilities into ether in order to use it. So.
またエーテルはランプの代わりといった日常生活に密接したものにも使われています。我が国の保有するエーテルを消費することで 訓練や建築を行うことができます。エーテルの変換量は国内に建てられたエーテル変換施設の能力に比例します。エーテル変換施設のエーテル変換量の総計が自軍ターンの最初に得られるエーテルとなります。
Okay, so there you can see that you're refining 500 ether a turn there, and he has 500 ether stored. And you can see the total mana in the world up there. So there's 122,100 in this example.
エーテルは毎ターン変換が繰り返されます。自国が持つマナのストックがゼロになるまでエーテルが手に入ります。ストックがゼロに達したことをマナ限界と言います。マナ限界の時点でエーテルは獲得することができなくなります。キャラクターを訓練することができなくなりますのでご注意ください。
Okay, and now we have entered the game. So, before I do anything, we're gonna quick save. Because, again, I don't remember the specifics of battle. So, if I screw up, you know, I want to be able to go back. Also, I know there's a way to switch this to a more overhead view, which I greatly prefer. And there's some shortcut to do it. What button is it? I'm pushing buttons on the keyboard right now. Not that one. Nope, not that one either. That's my squad menu. Is it space? No? I really don't remember this at all. I just remembered it. Oh, great, I ended my turn. That was fantastic. So they're gonna attack me now. Note to self, don't push E, that means in turn. She'll now explain about defending, though.
敵ターン時に攻撃を受けると迎撃扱いで戦闘が始まります。ターンを終了する際は迎撃する可能性がある部隊に注意してスキルの残回数や種類に気をつけた方がいいでしょう。
So I think that we're gonna have an advantage here, though, because they're attacking us in the city, and I think that you get bonuses, you know, associated with, you know, certain terrain types and stuff, and I think that the city is one of the bonuses. I think I'm remembering that right. It's funny, like, I've been playing some Civilization 5 not too recently, or, you know, not too distantly, pretty recently. And, I've got a little bit of Civ 5 mixed in my head a little bit with this, I think. It's a bit confusing. Anyway.
私たちの覚えるスキルには迎撃に向いているものもあれば攻撃に特化したものもありますから迎撃修正とはその土地ごとの修正値です。
Yeah, there we go.
ポイントの迎撃修正を受けるということになります。
To be honest, I never paid that much attention to the elemental modifiers. I mean, every now and then I'll pay some attention to them if they're, you know, pretty large. What I mainly pay attention to is the attacking and defending bonuses. Because, in general, those are the bonuses that are going to make the biggest difference.
迎撃側のみに適用され攻撃力と防御力に修正が加わります。場所によってガラリと変わるのでどこで迎撃するかも重要になるはずです。どうかスキルと迎撃修正の両方に気をつけてくださいませ。
Okay, so our first combat situation here. They are going to try to use Strike on us, and the defender is using a green elemental. It's a green elemental accurate block. If you want to take a look at more information about their moves, you can double-click on a unit, and then you can click on a move. Here we can see that this is an element just physical. It doesn't actually have an element to the defense, so we're not going to be able to break that in all likelihood. You know, of course, we can see a little explanation about what it is down there. Creates a skill of high density, or a wall of high density air to absorb incoming attacks. Green Spirit's defensive power is the greatest among the spirits, which is something that's important to remember, because, you know, Green Spirits generally are the best defenders. The power and number of uses are nothing to scoff at. Raising the level increases the power and number of uses. Okay, so here we have them just trying to attack us with a strike. They're going to be blocking our attack here. Aselia is going to be our strongest physical attacker. That's just how it is, straight up, in this squad. We also have Aspiri, who is the strongest defender, so she's not a bad idea to have in that role either. And Orpha using Firebolt is kind of a good idea. Why? Well, because red beats green, I think, if I'm not remembering this wrong. How does this work? Element red. And I think this is just a line of them, right? Red beats green, right? Blue beats red. Black beats blue, green beats black. Yeah, I think that's the order of the things. So yeah, red's going to beat green. If they're defending, I think we'll still do more damage with our fireball here. So my prediction, we won't be able to kill them with our, the defender rather, with our attack with Aselia, our leap attack. But we will be able to kill the attacker with our fireball 1. That's my prediction here anyway. Let's take a look at Aselia's attacks real quick. She also has leap attack 1, leap attack 2. We're going to use leap attack 2 because we're standing on our base. We're going to recharge all our attacks even after this battle, so there's no reason to hold anything back in this kind of situation. Unless you're worried about like a character's mind or something. So you can see over here, M50, that's her mind level. So Aselia's mind starts out pretty bad. Asperia's mind is really good, actually. I think that's because of all the choices we made up to this point. They've kind of helped with Asperia's mind. Like, you remember even at the choices where, what's her name, Kotori was asking all the questions about, you know, who, the kind of person that's fit for Yuta. We ended up Asperia getting a mind bonus because of that, so I think that's why she has such a high mind score at this point. We can see their level right there. We can see their HP there, 1060 for Asperia. And then you get a sort of grade for the skill in this number right here. So leap attack 2, you could say that's 480 attack power. It's going to be a physical attack. You know, a lot of things to consider in combat here, so I'm just trying to explain all this. So maybe you can get a grasp on what's happening before I just jump in. Accurate block, it's 440 power. I mean, consider this strike only has 150 power. We're probably not even going to take any damage from that strike. Which means that we could even, if we were worried about how many uses of Accurate Block 3 we had, we could probably switch to Accurate Block 2, say, and feel, you know, plenty secure. Maybe even Accurate Block 1 since we're standing in our base. But anyway, I think you probably more or less get the idea. Oh, one last thing to mention. This number over here is the number of uses left. So she can use Accurate Block 3 6 more times out of 6 total uses. And, you know, I don't remember what this number right here means, though. I don't remember that. So, oh well. But anyway, sorry about the phone chime in there. But anyway, let's do this. Combat! As we get deeper into the game, I will start skipping these really long-winded combat animations and stuff. But for now, I think it's cool to have them on. As you can see, that did absolutely nothing to Asperia. And Aselia here is going to mess this guy up. Hold this girl up. Spirit up. Alright. So Orpha's going to use her Firebolt. I think this will kill the attacker. No! Maybe that's because Orpha's still level 1, so she's still fairly weak. That's kind of one of the things. I think they even stated at some point, like, Orpha starts out really weak, but she can become really powerful. She can really become a squad member that can just wipe out entire groups. She is going to take him out with a second Firebolt here. But eventually Orpha will get, like, abilities, spells that will attack the entire group, which will be amazing. Okay, now let me try to figure out how I switch this view. No, 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 no. What is it? Oh, it's the mouse. I have to click in the mouse wheel. That just came to me as I was futzing about suddenly. So I was just messing around with the keyboard for no reason at all. As you can see, we healed, which doesn't really matter, but we also got all the uses of our abilities back because we were resting in our base. If we weren't worried about how quickly we complete the mission, honestly, you could just stand here and let them attack you and be relatively safe. We could let them come to us. The thing is, I think 1 or 2 of these units are not going to progress past where they are because they anticipate this. so they don't want to just, you know, rush into us and get massacred. So, we are going to move forward here. Though before I do, actually, don't I have Squad 2? Or I guess Yuto isn't available quite yet, but we will get Yuto available as a squad member very shortly here. Alright, let's move them there. Obviously. So they're defending there. We got them moving up. And we are gonna be attacked by this one. Okay, they're using Firebolt 1. They're gonna use Swing 1. Swing 1 is insanely weak. Okay, as a general rule, to explain more about the roles of spirits, as a general rule, again general, red spirits are physically very weak. So if you see a red spirit in the attacking stance, or, you know, attacking role, you don't have to be too worried about it generally. Or if it's easily going to, rather a spirit is easily going to just wipe this out. But we may not want to stick with this formation this time. I think this time we're going to move Aselia over into the supporter role. And we're going to move Orpha probably in the attacker role. She's very weak. As you can see, the Orpha kick only does 80, or has a score of 80, which is pathetic. But the thing is, they also don't have an offender, meaning that they're going to take decent damage. They're not going to take a lot from it because it's just a weak move. But the real thing is here, this is a very defensive formation I've got set up here. Why? Well, because of Aselia's support move. Ice Banisher 1. What Ice Banisher does is it will nullify spells cast by the enemy supporter. And eventually, the enemy will also get access to Ice Banisher, and you will hate everything in existence. But, for right now, we're not going to run into that, and we're the only people we're going to see with Ice Banisher. We're going to nullify the spell. They're going to take some damage from having the ability nullified. More importantly, we're not going to have Orpha in the face with a Firebolt. If we left Aselia in the attacker role, she would be okay getting hit with a Firebolt, but this way we just avoid the damage. Swing 1 is going to do absolutely nothing to Asperia, so much so that I'm just going to put on the lowest level block, so we save some uses of Accurate Block 3. We're going to turn on Accurate Block 1 here. It's going to be defending against Swing 1. We're going to nullify Banisher 1, so we're not going to take any damage, I predict, but we are going to deal out some damage. We're not going to kill this squad this turn, but we're going to not take any damage. So let's see this through. They're so happy! It's not gonna work. So there you see it. Ice Banisher interrupts their spell. Actually, that did it's kind of pathetic. Oh god, Orpha. Again, so little damage. Wow. Orpha, you are so weak physically. Whew, okay. We barely even hurt them. But you can see, you know, from a defensive perspective, that was fantastic. So we can also see the bonuses we got from that. I didn't even think to look at it. We had a 5%, or well, 5 rating at least. I assume that means percent. Bonus to defense. Our red elemental attacks. Actually, yeah, this only applies for the defenders, right? So, yeah, our red elementals were a little weaker, but our blue elementals were considerably stronger. So since we're going to be attacking this square, let's take a look at this here, because they're going to get a bonus to their green spirits, and they're going to have a defensive bonus of 5. Should be alright. Let's see who they defend with if we move here. Explanation of attacking. Alright.
攻撃扱いでの戦闘となります。まず戦闘突入前にお互いの部隊の状態が表示されます。攻撃側、迎撃側ともに戦闘に参加するすべてのキャラクターが表示されます。ここでロールと使用されるスキル、ライフなどの情報が確認できます。
As we've already discussed, but yeah.
また敵のロールとスキルの状態に応じて 部隊のロールを変更することも可能なので、よく考えて行ってください。セットされたスキルに問題があった場合はキャンセルし、部隊編成からスキルをセットした方が良いでしょう。戦闘には偶然などありません。勝つべき側は戦う前に周到な準備をしているものです。
That and levels properly.
敵部隊を消滅させるにはその部隊に属する全員を倒す必要があります。戦う以上は全力で挑んでください。中途半端な戦いでは犠牲者が増えるだけですから。
Okay, so what are they going to do here? They're going to attack us with Leap Attack 1, which has a 300 attack power. Blue Spirits are generally the physically most strong enemies you're going to run into. We should be able to block it with Accurate Block 2. I'm going to try to be a little conservative with that. I think it'll be fine. They're going to use Water Shield 1. Blue Spirits are generally really bad as defenders. So, but we're not going to keep that arrangement. We want to do some damage here. And also, there's no spell we even have to worry about nullifying with Ice Banisher. So, we probably will keep Leap Attack 2 just because we want to do as much damage as possible. That'll do for our defense. Firebolt 1 will do well for our attack. The one thing we do need to consider, she only has 4 uses of Firebolt 1, and she's most useful in that role. So do we want to have her cast that? Well, there's no other role we really want her in. She definitely can't take the role of a defender because she will get destroyed. You can see her defense is absolutely pathetic. 50 with Mind Shield 1. And her attack is also pathetic. So that's kind of just the role that she has to be in for this fight, I think. So let's do it. I think we can probably wipe out this squad this turn. If not, their defender might be left alive. Never mind. Their defender is toast on Aselia's second attack. Bam! Okay, so their attacker might live. That didn't do quite half damage. Which is because it's a blue spirit that we're attacking with a red elemental spell. And of course, you know, think of it as in terms of water versus fire, it's going to be difficult to do much damage with the fire. So she's done. I was exactly wrong on who survived here. We're going to have the attacker survive, actually. Just barely, probably about here. Yeah. A little less than, probably a fourth of their health left. Alright, so now we're going to be attacked, no doubt about it. Oh my god, you were so dead. Yeah, let's have Asperia go there. Oh man, Aselia's got such poor defense. Yeah, we'll use Leap Attack 1, I guess. That should be fine. Oh, that's Leap Attack 2 I clicked. I meant 1. That'll do more than enough damage. Hopefully Aselia takes her out before Orpha casts her spell, because I don't want to use another Fireball at this point. Or Firebolt, if you prefer. Alright, no damage. And hopefully, this is enough to finish her off. Should be. Yeah, into attacker roll, not even a defense, so we get the critical attack. That was plenty of damage. Easily took her down. Now we're going to get attacked by a full squad here. Oh, well, not even a full squad, but they lack a defender. Oh wait, we already fought this squad, didn't we? Yeah, this is the supporter when I put them like this. Again, it would be nice to be able to defend that Firebolt, but my gosh. We might actually even put Orpha here, just to try to do a little more damage. But I still want to Ice Banisher that spell. Yeah, use Strike 2. That's fine. It's the best thing you got at this point. So Orpha's going to take some damage. There's no getting around it. But that's fine. We should be able to kill their attacker, I think. Or actually... Will Aselia, or rather, will Asperia attack the supporter or the attacker? I would think the attacker, but I think Orpha attacked the supporter, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Yeah, she took some damage. We knew that was gonna happen. That's okay. We need to be worried if Orpha took half damage there, but she didn't, so she's gonna survive. So Aselia with her badass ice manipulation, or what is it even called? Ice Banisher, that's it. So I gotta admit, Aselia is frankly just badass. She is a amazing defender, she's a strong attacker, and she's a good support. So honestly, Aselia is probably, to me, like one of the most OP units in the game in terms of like being well-rounded, because she's good in any role. And you'll see that more and more as the game goes on. But for now, we're going to take out this squad. It should be very easy. How do we want to do this? We don't want her to defend again. We can take him out with Orpha, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this way it's only him attacking Aselia, and Orpha will attack Aselia. Since there's no spell, she won't even use that, so we're not wasting any moves here. And Orpha Kick is so pathetic, I don't care if we use all her uses of that. Because these are just the first few, combats in the game. Things are going to be extremely easy for right now. Now, I'm sure I could have handled this better, but I'm not that good. Hopefully we finish him with the first attack, but I doubt it. And 2 HP left. Come on, Orpha. Not a big deal, Aselia can defend against it. No damage. Aselia is a freaking rock. Bam, done. I'm already ready to start skipping their dialogues. Oh, we're surrounded. It's bad, I already forgot about that. Story point. She sounds so stilted when she's speaking in Saint Yodo's language. Not that I blame her, but Aselia! Orpha! Hint: consecutive battles. You've been surrounded by a number of enemy squads. When you're surrounded by enemies, you may be attacked by 2 or more squads in the same turn. To avoid taking extreme damage, prioritize defense over attack. Make Orpha, who is weak against enemy attacks, the attacker. Make Aselia, who excels at defense, the defender. We've actually used this exact formation before, which is the one that did so little damage, but we took no damage. Use Aselia, who can seal enemy magic, as a supporter. Yeah. It's a formation that won't deal much damage, but it's great for defense. If possible, at least try to avoid situations where Orpha is the defender. Like I did earlier, but I mean, it was fine for that because we knew she was going to survive, Do we want to use that for... Yeah, we do, because they actually have Ice Banisher. I didn't think we were going to run into anyone with Ice Banisher so early, but we did. That's actually a little surprising to me. What does Aselia have for support right now? Plus defense and a heal for any. I guess she just heals the most wounded? Okay. And who does she attack? Defense support, ally. Who does she target? Green spirits govern the earth and skies by wrapping their allies or bodies in wind. They can increase their defense, activates at the start support phase, and raises defense, targets the friendly defender. Okay. Friendly defender. Got it. So they're going to be attacking with 400 attack power. Yeah, I think the formation they recommended is actually definitely the right way to go. Accurate block 3 will defend all the damage from that attack. Ice Banisher won't matter because we're not going to use a spell either, because we're also using Ice Banisher, so neither of us will use a spell because we're waiting for the other one to. So instead, we're just going to be absolutely waiting this attack out. Orpha will do very little damage to the enemy defender, but that's okay. We're just going to follow the suggested path for right now. Because we don't want someone to get killed.
皆さん戦闘準備を。行きます。
オルファ参上。
行きます。これくらいの力なら。
Well done, Aselia. So that was the entire...
そう言うと。ルヤほらね。
That was the entire battle because I forgot that Orpha had run out of Orpha kicks. So they attacked and absolutely nothing happened because we were out of physical attacks. Oops. The battle's over. Yeah, we fought to a standstill and apparently they ran away or something.
いいっすか。はいやつ。わしの歯を忘れつかうだ。
Aselia turns to me and announces the end of the battle. Even so, I stay stiff with my sword raised. The blood on her spear and clothes evaporates into a golden mist. The corpse of the spirit Aselia killed has already completely vanished into mist without leaving a trace. It's as if she never existed to begin with. Will it be the same for me if we lose? The moment I think of that, my body begins shaking uncontrollably.
ラスト狙うムーソです。そう言うと。
Her smile is the same as always. It brings a sense of reality to this unreal scene. I retreat, afraid of that smile. It's the same smile as always, and the same reassuring Aselia, but I retreat anyway.
そう言うと。
She's the same Aselia as usual, right? What am I doing? I should say something. No. I can't continue. Even though I open my mouth, no meaningful words come out.
タケサスイス。いいっすよかと神と見褒めす。
She makes a sad face and bows deeply. Perhaps she realizes how afraid I am. I know how much this must be hurting her, but I am unable to keep calm. Or calm down. Keep calm, calm down. Aselia, I'm sorry.
でハルクフラカナ。ノンストイステサナだそう言うと。ニゼヤトさん。イス。
パパ、口のせんオルファ、イートタスタ。
オルファ。ハルキのナイスカアン。
シェホニルコテヤカローはイハルテスータサ
Orpha, still wanting to talk to me, protests to Aselia.
ニスワサス。
Aselia pulls Orpha's hand and moves away from me. Orpha looks back towards me with a dissatisfied expression. She definitely wants to be praised. She looks a little bit pitiable, but frankly, I'm grateful for Aselia's concern. I can tell that I'm being stressed out by my fear and impatience. I know the reason for that as well. Damn it! How am I supposed to fight battles so readily? I have to fight, but I can't do it. I'm only a burden. Not only will I be unable to save Kaori, but I may put everyone's lives in danger. I look at the sword in my hand. I can't feel any power in it. It's only a plain lump of metal. No matter how hard I grip the hilt, all I can feel is the sweat of my hands.
言うと。
Ugh! How long have you been there?
ささ。
Don't surprise me.
やってデングス。
It's not that I won't fight. I can't. My sword isn't responding to me at all. I turn away from Aselia's eyes. I know I'm being pathetic. But I don't know what to do. Damn it. I'm not even getting that headache anymore. Will I never be able to use the sword again?
ニステウニアミネツデングス。デンテオスミンシミハウラスレスカウド。ニス。
Her indifferent words have a cold sound to them. I can't sense any pity or sympathy at all. It makes me feel like I've just been labeled as useless. I start feeling more and more menial. I'm afraid. I've never seen this stuff before, and it doesn't seem real to me that I have to kill someone.
リアル。いや、ニハレデングスラユード。ラス。
She asks, as though confused. It's like she has no doubts whatsoever about fighting. To her, it's reality. Aren't you afraid, Aselia? Someday you might disappear, just like the enemy you killed. The sight of that spirit disintegrating in agony is burned into my eyes. You only obey your sword?
Aselia, halkina iska Nis isens necessary no usto kaesin kilha. Alu.
Aselia walks towards Orpha in response to Asperia's command.
So you
No, I'm calm. I'm sorry about before.
Stan, is har fracanares. Is hates shikisakawa iska is hikenk. Is yamanek sem kohtaching ya amanus skte yakosema. Har? Orpha, hates shekai?
Aru! Look, little Aselia! Iskainim, termose nene. You musalong uzska. Twas umes?
Aselia takes the peach-looking fruit from Orpha and sets off.
Was mi lulu esperia, mi papa.
Ureshe, Orpha.
Thanks. I rub her head as I accept it.
Tesla de yosru was mola Orpha. Inim how te kai munak.
She gives me the Nini fruit and runs back to Aselia. Asperia stays nearby. This time, my body doesn't reflexively pull away from her. She comes closer to me, smiling, and touches my cheek. Asperia. She makes a big nod and smiles at me. I feel like she's trying to say, "You'll be okay." I can sense Asperia's kindness. Thank you, Asperia. I hope the next fight goes well. And not just for my own sake. For Asperia's. No, for everyone's sake. Alright, and after all that, back into combat. So what do we got here? We got a fireball, which will attack any enemy, which means I think it defaults to the defender if we don't stop it, instead of firebolt, which attacks the attacker, I believe. Mind shield, so they've got a really weak defense, and swing one, which is a really weak attack. So we could Ice Banish the fireball, but then that's going to leave us doing so little damage ourselves. I think we need to shake it up. What about this? Oop, there we go. It's a much more offensive, in fact, it's not the most offensive we could get if we had Asperia in the defense, and Aselia in the attack. That would be the most offensive formation we could make. But this is pretty darn offensive. Aselia will take a little bit of damage. She'll actually take even more with the fireball if it attacks her. But I do think she'll live. I hope she lives. Firebolt is going to be so weak, though, because they're red spirits. Maybe it's a better idea to use Wind Whisper. No, but then Orpha... She doesn't even have Orpha Kick left. So it's not like we'd be doing little damage. We would literally be doing no damage. So that's a real bad idea. The other alternative is to heal... Does this just heal the most? Target whose health is lower compared to the maximum. Okay, so it's a percentage-based thing. So we could heal Orpha with that, but then Aselia will take some damage anyway, so there's no point to do that, I think. I think maybe we just go with this, because we want to start knocking guys out. If we just stay in this really defensive formation, like Orpha can't take it, she'll probably just get killed. The alternative is this, or not this, but this, which is alright, I guess. Maybe I should just do that. I used Leap Attack 2, and with such a weak defender, it's possible we could even take him out and take out an attacker. So maybe the simplest formation is the right one to do here. Yeah, because we definitely don't want Orpha in the defender role. So yeah, let's just do that. I took forever deciding that, but, you know.
武器は持ったな。来るぞ。
I'm trying to get back in my groove with Aselia the Eternal.
かわせるものならかわせ
Stop talking. I'm gonna start skipping their dialogues for sure.
る程度。
Yep.
マネ、
Blocked?
我に火球を与え
Okay, so we are gonna eat a fireball. This is gonna hurt Asteria. But she's... Oh my god!
くらい。
Oh, Christ.
それなら倒すだけ。いや
I thought it would do like half damage.
そんなこの程度
Oh, Asperia!
マナの支配者である真剣の主として命ずる。その姿を火のつぶてに変え敵を焼き尽くせ。ファイヤーボルト。
So this is not gonna kill him, because he's a red spirit. Not to mention Orph is still really weak. Aselia will finish the job if she attacks the attacker. She did. So only the support's left, meaning their fireball guy, who destroyed Asperia. Oh my god. We gotta run. Like, we have to back up, because she's gotta get healed. Yeah, you can stay there if you want. Feel free. Doesn't bother me. In fact, come after me, because then you'll have to fight me in my base. Alright. It's thunder outside. Always an exciting time. Okay, so they're not going to attack us. That one is, though. Are they going to group up? Because if they do, that'll suck. That'll mean there's 3 enemies in a base, but either way, we have to heal. So it restores, I think, about 1/3 of your health every turn. We are going to wait for them. You get bonuses for finishing missions quickly, but I'm not really that worried about that, to be honest. And New Game Plus and stuff, that's fun to do, because you can just, like, tear through the enemies. But right now, I'm more worried about, you know, defeating these enemies and refining some ether. So they are going to attack us in our base. That's a real bad move. We are not going to have Asperia defend, because that's a terrible idea, as I found out. We're going to have her strike. So this is fine.
速やかにゲージ
Aselia should be fine against that fireball. Though I don't think he'll actually get to do it, because I think Asperia will attack before he can actually do that.
これを受けて無事
Nope, I'm wrong. So Aselia's gonna get some damage. Oh god, still so much.
耐えられない。
Okay, we gotta take some time to heal up.
戦うのが
Because that might have even killed Orpha, even being a red spirit. Because she just got so little HP. Either way, they're dead. Now we gotta sit here for 2 turns to heal up. We don't have to, but that's what we're gonna do. That'll heal us. Now we're gonna end turn again. Okay. We'll do a quick save of the game. Nothing, we're fine, but you know. Yeah, so they did go group up there. That sucks. Okay, we're still not at full, so let's stay here for 1 more turn to completely heal up. And then we're gonna make our assault. Here we go. Alright. Okay, so I pushed control there to speed things up, because you can speed the battles up that way. Because obviously we're just going to be moving forward. Oh! Story point. So we got ambushed, it looked like. What's with this spirit?
そう言うとイスアムナラズスカユーラスハルシノーラス
She's only a single red spirit, but her power seems overwhelming. My sword has remained silent until now, but I can feel a sort of excited tingling coming from it in response to the enemy's power. This is bad. We'll be overtaken.
ウルファアセリアウンスリスはそう言うと
Shouting, Asperia races off towards the spirit. Aselia nods and stands in front of me to protect me from harm.
ウルーエスペリア。
ユーハルツノンウルファ敵だ気合を入れろここは通しません
You shall not
一撃で
pass!
決めるてやーこれくらいの力なら恐れよ炎の前にひれ伏せ
Oh, this is bad. Oh my god.
これくらい
If that really hit her, she would be so dead. But thankfully, it's a cutscene battle, so she's fine. Asperia, I can hear the splitting sounds of explosions nearby. Without a doubt, Aselia and that spirit are fighting. From what I saw of that spirit earlier, she's stronger than us. Now that last explosion, could Aselia have been? My throat instantly dries up, and I feel a cold sweat run down my back. Again, the people around me will die? Because of me? My single greatest fear. To me, that's a thing far more terrifying than even my own demise. Aselia! Aselia!
Yuto, Haremina.
Aselia holds me back when I try to run off. She has unbelievable strength in her slender body. No matter how desperately I struggle, I can't move an inch. Let me go, Aselia! I have to save Aselia!
Asuna, Sero, Kumino wa Yuto.
Why? Aselia will die! Because of me! It's my fault!
Yuto, hurry up, Sam.
How can I calm down? Let me go, Aselia! Without a word, she holds me back even more forcefully than before. Orpha leaps into the flames. She slashes the flames with her sword and divides them to the left and right, clearing a path. Orpha! Let me go, Aselia! Let me go!
Yes, soon taska haismania Yuto. De marates.
Her words are as cold as ever. What she says is the same thing as I've heard so many times until now. You can't do anything. Leave it to others. Your actions are meaningless. I've had enough. Despair overtakes me, and I stand petrified. A jinx after all? I feel like crying, but I clench my fists and endure. This is no time to cry. Crying won't save Aselia. As I stand frozen, Aselia makes the slightest of smiles as she speaks. Aselia will be fine. Is that what she's saying? But... Aselia pushes her way through the grass, covered with wounds. Orpha follows behind her, looking worried. She looks pale. It looks like she's about to collapse. Even so, Aselia manages to smile. And she slowly falls to the ground. Aselia! After Aselia collapses, I stand frozen for a time. Orpha nurses her earnestly, wiping her face with a wet towel and loosening her clothes. With Orpha's care, Aselia soon wakes up. Orpha supports her as she sits up to drink some water. Her external wounds don't seem that terrible at a glance, but it's obvious from her pale face that she has incurred heavy damage. After drinking, Aselia turns towards me and speaks. More than anything... Oh, it's not voiced. More than anything, I'm glad you're safe, Yuto-sama. She speaks so softly that I can barely hear her. I bite my lips as I listen to her intermittent speech. Why? Why? What are you saying? Why did you go fight such a dangerous enemy all by yourself? Why would you care what happens to me? Not understanding Aselia's words, I shout at her. You could have died, right? How could you do such a dangerous thing? What if something bad had happened? Aselia makes a slightly troubled smile as I yell. She drinks another sip of water and slowly begins speaking.
So you is unetarano retenka homest ya costa is hamitu sin us is sononarena la so yuto is kumine wa sonorarera la homest ya costa nis is leonera unetam so yuto nist ni hakora ya yoteto is deune ran nenates teska. She speaks calmly, but I can't accept what she's saying. Indescribable anger and sadness fill my chest. It's not a problem if you disappear for my sake? I can't believe that she can say something like that so casually. I came to this battlefield to save Kaori, only for Kaori, who is irreplaceable. But I don't want anyone else to die. I'm through being the only one left alive, as everyone around me dies.
How can I tread over others' lives as stepping stones to save only myself? If my death alone could save Kaori, then I'd gladly die. But that's not going to help. If I don't stay alive, I can't save Kaori. I have to live and keep fighting. The things I feel that I need to say are boiling up inside of me. The atmosphere taking hold of the area makes Orpha's eyes tear up, but I can't stop my speech here. So don't just decide to disappear on your own. Don't leave me behind. What are the ones left behind supposed to do? I don't want anyone to die in front of my eyes again. Don't run off to your death, please. I'm pathetic. Aselia tried to protect me, but I'm yelling my selfish feelings at her. But these are my true feelings. I don't want anyone else to die.
そう言うとはハルスクネンのホネストラストキニカラセムなホネストウユラス
That's right. Aselia and Orpha. And you too, Aselia. You live, talk, and have feelings. You're humans.
イスだよねそのなれなラホメストノーストイスウネユラス
What does that mean? How can that be? You're the same as me. I don't want you or anyone else to die. Neither human nor spirit. I shout and interrupt her. We're the same. What's the difference between us? Aselia, tell me. Earlier, you said my sword was asleep, right? Aselia's face tenses up, and she nods. I'll fight too, and I won't let you die. Not you, or Kaori, or Aselia, or Orpha either. How do I awaken it? Tell me! It's vexing, but my own power is minuscule. I know that all too well. I'm as powerless here as I was in my original world. But if I can attain that power, if I can spare everyone from sadness, please, Aselia, I want power, the power to fight. I implore her from the bottom of my heart. Aselia stares at me as if to gauge my sincerity. I stare back at her without averting my eyes at all. A period of silence. Aselia's facial expression shows a mixture of sadness and pity, but that quickly disappears. She hardens her expression and speaks.
そう言うとはイスモーネウスンステラシミハオラスレスカウトシンそう言うとイスイリノークリュウキにムルラスにラシミハオラスレスカウトそう言うとやんイスハイシアカはムナハンヨテトヤンイステスヨンラレヨエンニーセナテレムハテスナシミハオラスレスカウトニエスナウコスカトンセホテス
Her expression clouds in uneasiness. There's a catch?
キスいやレシロンシミハオラスレスカウトそう言うとやんラシミハオラスレスカウトそう言うとやんラシミハオラスレスカウトカクサウサウソマイスデテスハーラル
I don't care. I still want power. I'm tired of not being able to do anything.
イスリオスマスよくイステロニーセウネウヒナゾウセムアセリアよくイスイクハルナレームナネシロンイキタドゼムシーソンヨテトヤンリーカーテカレウトラスソアスを言うとイスハケサスイシス
Don't worry about it. Aselia, I'm counting on you. Aselia nods in assent. The power of my sword. That was probably the source of my headaches and that ominous voice back in my original world. It would be a lie to say that I'm not frightened of awakening that voice. I can tell that doing so will have a big impact on my future. Right now, I have no choice but to fight.
言うとわしみハオラスレスカウト
She faces me and draws her own sword. The blade of Aselia's existence is huge. Despite its inelegant shape, that blade has a glossy luster. and I can tell how sharp it is just by looking at it. Aselia holds up the sword, her eyes as emotionless as always.
Makitas, sim homestuya Aselia. Is yosmiya missin, simihauras res kautu, tokin so yutu. Hal nontanaras, wa ranates, na, is runtaras, Aselia.
I'm counting on you. She nods again, making her usual curt response. I hold up Desire in front of Asperia and Orpha's anxious eyes. It feels like something more than just a lump of iron. Am I frightened of awakening the sword? Aselia's piercing eyes make me question whether this is really the right thing to do. Even if I awaken the sword, I don't know whether I'll be able to fight. But for Kaori's sake, and for my own sake, I have no other choice. Go ahead, Aselia. I align my sword with Aselia's existence and touch the tips of our swords together. I hear a sound. It's extremely soft, but it reverberates through the area like a tuning fork. I'll try. I sense something, like a sound coming from my sword. Is this Aselia's heartbeat? It's like a melody with a fixed rhythm. It's being transmitted from my sword to my hand and into my mind. Aselia! I hear Aselia's words. No, her thoughts. In this world, where no outside noise exists, I can hear Aselia's voice whispering to me. Is this something like telepathy? She responds to what I was just thinking. Strangely, I've readily accepted the fact that we're speaking directly into each other's minds. Nothing, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Aselia, what should I do? How do I draw out my sword's power? My sword's voice. It was severe in the other world, but here it's extremely faint. I wonder if that voice will really return. I'm a little uneasy. Got it. I'll try. I gradually align my own sound to hers, or at least I try. Honestly, I don't really understand well, but I have a sense of what I need to do. I listen to her pulse as I try to match her timing. This is hard. Compared to Aselia's metallic, reverberating sound, mine is full of noise. This isn't going very well. But I feel like I'm getting closer. Like this? I feel a strange sensation. Is this inside of me, or inside Aselia? Got it. Aselia's consciousness fades away. I concentrate, and wait to hear words. Suddenly, a head-splitting sound rocks through my mind. The sound is like a hammer bashing the inside of my head. I'm assailed by an intense pain. It's here. The sensation. It's the same as that time. The same pain as when I first came to this world. So it's you after all. I hear a low, quiet voice. Somehow, the cool tone irritates me. I have a lot that I want to ask you. Why are we in this world? Why did we have to come here? Answer me. Having forgotten my original objective, that didn't take long, I shout angrily at the sword. Desire brushes off my anger. It's true that I need power right now. The power to survive in this world. The power to save County and Asperia.
我は力。求める者に力を与え、代償を求める。契約は魂の輪廻の果てまで有効であり、果たされることはありえない。我と汝はすでに契約は交わされている。目覚めた今、我は汝の求めに力を与える。
Desire makes a huge jolt through my mind. My body feels as hot as if it were boiling. Desire said he would grant me power, and I can tell that he's trying to forcefully open the doors of my consciousness. My mind feels like it's being washed away in a stream of power.
受け入れるのだ、力なき者よ。我が一族の与える絶大な力を。受け入れよ。
Chink! I hear a shattering sound as though something is cracked open. At the same time, a dark power flows into me from Desire. My consciousness is being dyed the color of night.
我の精神と汝の精神は一つとなった。これからは汝の運命は我のもの。案ずることはない。汝が歩む道は我が望むもの。すべては必然の中で起きる出来事。あるものはあるように、汝が存在することで代償とし。
Desire's voice fades away. With that, his control over my mind recedes, and I recover my thoughts. The sword's voice disappeared? This is gonna be such a long episode. I forgot this scene was so long. The disagreeable voice disappears, and I begin to hear a clear voice from amidst the noise. It's Aselia's voice. Aselia? Where is he? I can't hear that voice anymore.
ユウトの剣の声、もう聞こえない。
I see. He granted me power. That's what Desire said. I concentrate and can sense another presence in my mind. 1 second. My apologies. Right now, he's asleep, but that painless yet uncomfortable lingering feeling leaves me uneasy.
ユウト、
I can feel a rare tinge of emotion in her voice. More accurately, it's in her mind rather than her voice, though.
求めの声は強い。私の存在より、エスペリアの献身よりも。
And just forget about Orpha. Don't even worry about her.
それは
Aselia struggles for the right words. Even so, I can see into her mind, so it's clear what she's trying to convey. Fear. This power is too great.
難しい。
Unable to find the right word, she makes a vague response. Is desire that dangerous? Is my sword awakened now?
求めの力、ユウトに感じる。もう心を離す。
I can clearly feel Aselia's mind slowly split off from mine. I become keenly aware of my own mind. What was the price that Desire spoke of? Is there more in store for me than just fighting in this world? Does he have some other motive? I confirm that Aselia and I are completely separated, and I gradually open my eyes. I open my eyes and find Orpha anxiously peering into my face. I nod to indicate that I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
ゆるパパ、いに
Orpha lets out a sigh of relief.
You are Hakius, Ryu Yaku, La Neshron.
It looks like it. So, this is the sensation of an eternity sword. All of my senses feel heightened. That's the only way I can describe it. I feel various information flowing into my head from my sword. I can sense all of your swords. It's almost like a radar. I can feel a tremendous power coursing through my body. It's on a whole different level from any power that I've felt before. Sorry about the phone chime. I really should silence this. There we go. There's no doubt about it. Now I can fight.
Wairasun ya Shimihauras Rescout Yodetuyam. Iski Ikha Sansen, what totem sin Neshron, that's so you.
Got it.
Iwarikuha, letting through, Suhami Sapa Gase, Inim Hates Nakim.
That's right, Orpha. I hear an intense sound from my sword. I can immediately tell that it's a warning of impending danger. At the same time, I can sense the presence of other Eternity swords appearing. We're surrounded, and by at least 2 squads. There aren't just 1 or 2 swords. I can feel the presence of at least 6 swords other than ours.
Iwarukosta is Hagesasis, Ise Unu Hawitis, Istaya Roteta.
She stares regretfully at the hilt of devotion and clenches her small fists, mortified at the thought of being unable to take part in the coming battle. We'll have to break through somehow. I'll help out as much as I can. I can't say that I have confidence. I don't have too much trust in the power now swirling through my body. But I know that if I want to live, I have no choice but to fight. I'm prepared. Now, I have the power to fight. This power isn't my own. I can sense something abnormal, just as Aselia feared, but that's fine, as long as I'll be able to fight. As I tighten my grip on Desire, I discover that it feels surprisingly familiar in my hand. I feel like I've been wielding Desire for a long time. Now I can fight. My feeling turns to conviction. Aselia, Orpha, lend me your strength. I begin to hear a large amount of rustling in the nearby trees. I sense 3 swords coming towards us. We brandish our swords. We have to protect Aselia. Right now, I have the power to fight. I have the power I've always wanted. I face Orpha and Aselia. Aselia is still pale. It doesn't look like she's in any condition to fight. But I think Aselia, Orpha, and I can protect her. Let's see if we can do this. I sense the enemy presence in a nearby part of the forest. I focus on that location and shout to muster up my courage. Let's go! Alright. About Ed Rangers. You're injured.
エトランジ様はスピリットと異なり特定の色を持っていません。正確には無色ということになります。そのため属性の効果を受けずどこでも安定した能力を発揮することができます。すべての能力においてスピリットを大きく上回ります。高い攻撃力を持ったアタックスキル、ライフも防御力も抵抗力も高く、ディフェンススキルそのものも高い効果があります。さらに特殊なサポートスキルを持っています。オーラフォトンと呼ばれるスタートサポートタイミングに発動するスキルです。このスキルは味方部隊全体の能力値を上昇させる効果を持っています。効果は戦闘が終了するまで継続します。アンチブルースキルであるため敵サポーターにバニッシュされる心配もありません。
Which is huge. Basically, you know, using Ed Rangers, you can't have your magic suppressed.
ユート様が
Oops.
どの部隊のどのロールにつくか、それが部隊運用の上でとても重要になります。
Well, that's true. Mobilizing 2 squads. Now that Yuto has joined your ranks, you will command 2 squads. When 2 squads are in the same location, they can transfer characters between them. Rearrange the squads based on Yuto, or around Yuto, to take advantage of his versatile abilities. By arranging your forces into 2 groups, you can increase your strategic options. Okay. And so we have Yuto now. How do I switch between squads? Maybe I can't because the other unit's already moved. I think that's how it works anyway. So let's go ahead and end the turn, and then I'm gonna end the episode because this has been super long. Okay, so they're all gonna hang out, and we will save the game. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.